Success. Our goal today is to make a disgusting fuzz guitar tone. Hello and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be checking out the new Clairvoyant Amp Sim plugin by the modern metal songwriter. This is literally going to be my first look at it. I have just opened it up and got things set so that we can start playing with it, but this is really a first impressions video, and we're going to try and get a really heavy, disgusting fuzz guitar tone into this song. Disclaimer, I do know the guys over at Modern Metal Songwriter, but they did not ask me to make this video, and these are all going to be my own thoughts and opinions. But before we get into this, if you are currently learning how to mix yourself, check out the link down below for Standout Mixes. It is a free workshop that's going to help you level up your mixing skills using the tools you already have. So it's not going to cost you anything extra, and the workshop is free as well. Check that out. But let's get into this amp sim now and see what we can do. So first, let's have a listen to this song without any guitar so you can just hear the part we're going to be working on. All right, so big, fun, huge, massive breakdown section. What I want to do is bring in our guitars and make a cool fuzz guitar tone here. So first thing we'll do is just listen to the DI tracks we've got set aside here. There's our performance. Now let's bring in Clairvoyant, our amp sim. So right when we open it, we're on the default settings. It's showing us that we've got our standard EQ circuit on our left here, a channel selector, which reading the manual before this is kind of like an amp selector, really. I think it's kind of like a clean combo, crunchy, and then heavy is going to be like our modern metal tone. Tilt over here. This is something I'm very glad that they have in here because this is a tilt EQ. So picture this line being your EQ curve. If we tilt it this way, it's cutting our low end and boosting our top end, and vice versa. Tilt EQs are awesome. I've got another video. I'll try and link to that up here if I remember. If you want to learn more about tilt EQs, great for mastering. So this enhance button, and I've actually got the manual right here, is kind of preset EQ curve. It's going to get you closer to like mixed right away, but it's also got some compression on your low mids to deal with, like, you know, the palm muted chunk thing that happens with a lot of modern heavy guitar riffs. So that kind of takes care of that for you. And I think it's worth mentioning that this plugin was actually designed to make things efficient. It's really for, as their name says, the modern metal songwriter. So it's about just like not having to tweak a ton to get a cool tone. Just wants it to be quick, so you're spending more time songwriting and recording, I think, which is a cool concept. Those are kind of the tools that I personally like as well. So we can click that on. One thing, according to the manual, this gray knob behind the enhance button is kind of like a mix knob for the enhance feature, so you can dial in less or more of it. I don't think I would have known that if I didn't have the manual in front of me, so that's going to sneak by some people, I'm sure. Then a master volume, of course. So that's our amp circuit by the looks of things. And then over here, we've got our pedals, and on the right here, our IRs. So let's start at pedals. We got an overdrive, fuzz, lo-fi, delay, reverb. Those could all be useful and fun in this. And then in our IR cab section, looks like they've got an A and B cab, a blender here, pretty full stacked IR loader here. Actually, that's pretty cool. And then last, before we jump into making cool sounds here, let's look at the top, and I see that we've got a gate. I wonder if this is a threshold number. We'll see. I'll just leave that kind of where it was, 60. And then an input and an output. That's just going to be like for gain staging, the signal you're feeding the amp, and then how loud it's coming out of the amp. And a tuner as well. Very handy. So you can play with this thing as well. All right, so we've got our amp. Let's see what it sounds like. So we had our DIs before, and now we're just going to run them into the default setting here. Cool. Sounds metal. Let's go to mid. Also cool. That's kind of more vintagey for sure. And low, which I think are like combo clean tone. I like that. Not for what we're doing here, but that sounds cool. I'm gonna have to play with this on other songs and maybe just grab a guitar and see what it can do as well. 3 cool starting points with one knob though, for sure. Let's start to the right on that heavy mode and just see how that sits in the song. really good right away. That's like a cool distorted, I wouldn't call that a fuzz tone, I'd call that just like a modern distortion tone. Let's try that enhance button, see if we can notice that doing anything. Little scoops maybe? Mess with the mix. Cool, I think in this case I'm gonna leave it off, but that could be useful. Now let's go looking for the fuzz here. That's what I got really excited about when I read the manual, is that there is a fuzz, because not a lot of things have fuzz. It just gets left out all the time. I don't know why that is. Fuzz is such a cool, iconic sound. So I'm gonna turn off this overdrive. I wonder if this green is a clue to what that overdrive pedal might be. But fuzz, here we go. Let's mess with this. Wow, that's really cool. So high pass and low pass here. I'm digging that. I'm gonna try that in the mix now. Definitely a filthy fuzz tone, but it's kind of getting eaten by the mix a little bit. So I think we're gonna head back to our amp circuit here and try and just cut through a little bit more. That sounds great, no complaints. Let's mess with our gain, and I want to see how the amp reacts to this fuzz. Cool, I think there's a sweet spot back here. That's awesome. I'm gonna try this overdrive into it. Ooh. Okay. Success. Yeah, let's have a listen to that on its own. And I want to hear it without that overdrive. Back in. The fuzz pedal's kind of like eating anything I throw at it, but I do think it gets a little like more cut with that pedal on, so we'll leave it there. That's a cool effect, but let's try this LoFi pedal. That's really cool, because what you could do is you could automate that lo-fi knob just as one parameter to go from like small to big. So say the song started with this riff. There you got an intro to a song. It's just going to explode, right? That's really cool. But let's see what these other parameters do. Cool, there's like some bit reduction going on or something. You can hear some weird artifacts. The delay is not going to be any use for us on a riff like this, so we're going to skip that. We could hear what the reverb sounds like on its own. I don't think we'd need it in the riff, but soloed guitars, it might sound cool. That's cool and cool. I like it's kind of like a depth added there. I don't really use a lot of reverb on guitars, almost ever, but cool that it's there, and that one seems pretty good. And finally, we could experiment with some IRs, which is always fun to do. It looks like you can add your own IRs, which is something I always appreciate because people have their collection of IRs and you come to like have your favorites and stuff like that. So that's really awesome. But in this case, we're just going to play around with the ones they included. So right now, it looks like it defaults to being on IR1 and IR2 for A and B, which is interesting. Then they've gone with the default setting being different. So let's play with this fader here and we can actually experiment. A little pokier, tighter, looser, more woolly mammoth. And they've got a phase knob on each one. That's really useful, especially when you're mixing and matching samples. You can like make sure that they've got a relationship that's tight enough. For the goal of as disgusting as we can make a fuzz guitar tone, I'm liking this IR4. So let's hear that. I'm going to bring the guitars down just a little bit more into the mix for this example, but here we go, our disgusting fuzz guitar tone. No complaints there. That's awesome. Great work. Shout out to the Modern Metal songwriter. This is a cool amp sim right away. I don't have anything else that can make a fuzz tone like that in the computer. I just don't have anything that can do that. So this is going to be helpful for me because I like fuzz tones. If you want to check out this plugin yourself, check out the link down below in the description. I've got that sitting there for you. And finally, just to give you a little bonus incentive here, to subscribe and check out future videos. If you noticed, you might have heard some cool noises in the drums going on through this song. There's a lot going on there that you might have picked up on. If you want to see a video on that kind of layering and using creative samples to spice up an arrangement, because this is like one of the coolest situations of that happening that I can think of, let me know in the comments down below and I'll make that video for you. Don't forget the standout mixes resource down below. Check out this amp sim, Clairvoyant by the Modern Metal songwriter. Again, link down below, and do subscribe and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.